Hey, I'm recording this video because I finally managed to create an assistant that I will really use every single day. And I will use it because I'm a strong believer in tracking. When I care about something like tracking progress and basically measuring something, it always increases the chance of succeeding. And for the past 33 days, I've been going through that 75 hard challenge where I told myself to do at least 100 push-ups every day, which is for many probably not a big deal, but for me it is because I finally try to take care of my health and fitness. And I basically track every workout I do. I focus mainly on push-ups, but I do some additional notes. But very often, like tracking the workouts is very like problematic for me because I use Notion because okay, this is on Notion. I forgot to tell you that's everything in Notion. That I have a couple of databases here, and so I only use it on my computer, and I sometimes basically don't have access to it when I do the push-ups or something, or I basically forget to track it. And after 2 days, I have to think, okay, how many I actually did yesterday, and so on and so on. So it was very problematic for me. And today I had this idea, hey, why don't I build an assistant through Telegram using n8n, where I connect my Telegram, my phone, with this database. And I actually managed to do that. And let me just show you a test. So today is the 1st of March, day 33 of my workouts, and I can do right now something like that. I go here and I say, hey, I just did 45 push-ups and I split them into 20 and 25. And this was my voice message. I just go to my workflow that I created and I press test workout and it's going through that voice. And now my LLM is working and it went here. And what's great, and that's exactly here, like 45 push-ups, what I just said, split into sets of 20 and 25 push-ups. Thank you very much. And that's working. I was so happy when it worked for me for the first time. And this is what I actually want to show you today, how to build something very similar step by step, but I have to do it a little bit simpler because in my tracker, I actually use two databases and I have a relation between them because right now it says day 33, but it also like connected this day 33 from another database. And this is what this part is doing. And it will be quite a long video anyways, because I want to show you everything step by step, how to integrate Notion with n8n. This part is more AI and Telegram, and I'm showing this in other videos. So this, I will basically build step by step for you, but I will not go through all the details, like how do I connect, how do I create a new bot on Telegram, because again, there are other videos where I go step by step through that process. And today I want to focus on the workflow itself. So this will be the workflow actually. Again, I'm skipping this, but let me know if you also want a more complex workflow for something that I've created, like with relational databases. If you need that, maybe for your business, let me know. But for this video, I will go a little bit simpler, and I'll build a shorter workflow. But I have to show you everything in Notion, and that will be quite long because we will create a database from scratch. I think that's it for the introduction. Let's start building. You have to go to Notion. If you don't have any Notion account, just create it with, okay, it's like redirected me because I'm logged in. So go to notion.so, and if you don't have any account, just use Google to create it. That's what I usually do. And then you should have your own workspace with many. I mean, it should be empty if you've never used it. Mine is already quite full. But what you actually want to do is here you want to create a new page. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'll hide it because we don't need that. And I call it workouts. Okay, because that's where I'm going to track my workouts. And let's add this muscle. It looks nice. And now I want to create a database where I will track like my workouts, but I will just track several different exercises, not everything. So for that, we will have to create a database. And that's created a database for me right now. And it has just one column, which is called name. But I want to track like push-ups, pull-ups, squats. So let me just add those columns to track them. All of them will be numbers because all I care about is how many of them I did. So let's start with push-ups. Okay, they are added, and I'm adding another number, and I call it pull-ups, and another one just squats. Okay, and what I care about is also I want to keep the date. So when I did that workout, and for date, I will, no, sorry, let's go back here, edit property. I don't want a full date, I just want year, month, date, and let's do 24 hours, just because I prefer that, no special reason. And then text for notes, like additional notes, like you saw in my example where I said like split into sets of something. Just, to have this space for some additional information. I will just make that smaller, full width maybe. And I will just call it also workout. Let's call it workout tracker, okay? And right now, if I add something, I can say workout. I'm not great with names. Oh my God. And then I can say like, this is my database now. So I can say I did 10, 20, and maybe, okay, 20 here. And now date, it was today. Okay, notes, nothing. Okay, so that's how I can track my workouts, and the new page will add some more. But again, this is how I always used Notion. So I did everything like manually and often like after a longer break. And I don't want to do that anymore this way. I just want to use my phone. I want to talk to my phone and say, hey, I just did that and that. It's so many squats, so many pull-ups, because that's so convenient. And it was worth building it, trust me. And so, okay, we've got the database prepared in Notion, and that's the first step. Now, let's try to connect this Notion with n8n, okay? We don't need that anymore. Telegram, maybe. And this is my fitness assistant, but we will build from scratch, okay? So let's go to n8n.io if you've never done it and click get started here. Just log in and give your name, your email or something, how you want to call your workspace. And then it should, once it's done, it should give you a 14-day free trial and redirect you to this dashboard. And then from it, you just open your workspace, and this is my workspace. And I'll show you how to create a new assistant, a new workflow. So on top right hand side, there is this create workflow button. I just press it and I say, I rename it like Notion Workout Tracker. Okay, just to give some descriptive name. But again, I want to connect it with Telegram. And to start a workflow, we need some sort of triggers. And what's cool is that Telegram has those triggers. Like triggers have this this sign next to them, and just basically on a message I'll use. And again, you need to connect with credentials, and I talked about it in my first video about Telegram chatbot. It will be here or there. I don't know which side I'm pointing right now. Okay, you go to create new credentials, and again in the other video I explain how to create a bot and so on. I will not do it today. And when I test it, I'm connected with this one. I just say I did 30 push-ups. Okay, and we can see it went through. When I click on that, I can see I did 30 push-ups, right? So this is my message. And again, I want to use voice assistants. This is why we use these 4 blocks here. Just to separate, oh my God. Okay, that's just, I want to describe, that's the voice part, because if I didn't use it, if I didn't want voice, I would just go directly to my LLM. But I do want the voice. So I will show you again, but this time quickly, how to do that. I need a switch, I need a schema, and I need a rule. And the rule is that if this is a text that I'm passing, which was I did 30 push-ups, and if it exists, it means my input was text. Because later you'll see that if I record a voice message, this field will not exist. But this time it existed, so we went through. And we will need to use a node called edit fields only to simplify our input. And again, we will use our text, but I don't want to call it message.text. I want to call it text. And later, if I don't forget, I will explain why. But that's necessary for now. Okay, so this is our input, and my input was, hey, I just did 30 push-ups. And now I will need AI and a large language model to actually process that input. And in this video, it will be slightly different because we won't use any AI agent. I will just show you how to use basic LLM chain with the structured output. Okay, and we will go to advanced AI and then select basic LLM chain. And this input we will have to adjust by defining below. And again, we just pass our text. I did 30 push-ups. Let's test it. Okay, we've got an error. Why? We don't have any LLM. And again, we will use OpenAI chat model. And again, in another video, I showed you exactly how to create an OpenAI API, how to do that, this entire connection. I will skip it. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And I did that. And so let's try test again. And okay, and so we went just from, hey, I just did 30 push-ups to, hey, look, this is to the LLM. So it was like, if I put that in ChatGPT and I say, hey, I just did 30 push-ups, what will ChatGPT tell me? Let me tell you here. That's great. Doing 30 push-ups is a solid accomplishment. I'm just reading this, okay? So it's praising me and it's giving me this something that I don't need, or maybe that is not useful for my Notion database, because that's what we want. We want to create a new workout with 30 push-ups, right? And today's date. So what we did so far, it was like using a chatbot, but we don't want to use a chatbot. We want to use it as a tool. And in order to actually connect my input, my language input with the database, we need some certain structure. Okay, and that's very important because this understanding this will give you like many more ideas and much better understanding of what's going on. Because right now, how do I transform this text? I did 30 push-ups into something that I can put into a database which has so many columns, right? And for that, I will just require a specific output format, and it will add another field. This didn't exist a moment ago, but because I changed that toggle here, I can now see output parser. So I click plus here and I select structured output parser. Okay, and this will give me the outputs in the JSON format. Okay, and this JSON format, if you're not familiar, is something like here. Okay, this is JSON. So it looks quite complex because it has this array, like this brackets, and then there is always like key value. So what's on left is a key and what's on the right is a value. Like for example, my first name is Krzysztof. I'm sorry if you're not from Poland. And the text I put is I did 30 push-ups. And the same applies in databases, but the names are basically the column names and values are how many. So like for this workout, like key push-ups value 50, key pull-ups value 10. And now I need to do the same, but using the JSON structure, okay? But I also have to define this JSON output that I want, because I want in some exact structure that matches my database. Okay, so I want all these fields, actually these push-ups, pull-ups, squats, date, and notes. And how do I do that? I go to that structured output parser and say define below. And I've prepared that because it's quite long, but I will go through that. So I just copy paste it. So this will be the properties, and my properties will be basically push-ups. They will be a number, just like in my database, number of push-ups. I just provide a very short description just to ensure that the large language model knows what to extract from my text, from my input. And then pull-ups, number of pull-ups, squats, number of squats, nodes, like additional nodes and information. So something like I provided in that, hey, say I split those push-ups into two series. And then there's a day, which is a string, so means text, but in a specific format. Okay, so when I provide that to our LLM chain, the output will change. But let's see, if I run it again, it went through that output parser. And if you remember previously, it just praised me. But right now, that's the output. Can you see? It basically took my input. I did 30 push-ups and translated it into this structured output. And so it found out that I did actually push-ups 30, but I didn't mention anything about pull-ups and squats. So it assumed it was nothing, none, and then no nodes. And the date is basically like the knowledge cutoff of large language models, but we'll fix that in a second. Don't worry about that. But you see how we changed from a chatbot response into a structured output because of that. And that was probably the most complex part of this video, I'd say. But right now we've got it. We've got a structured output, which is amazing and very important. But I want to provide a more detailed description, more detailed instruction to my large language model. This is why I add prompt. And actually it will be a system prompt in which I explain its role and what it should do. And I will also provide information about today's date. Okay. And again, I don't want to type right now. So I've prepared it and I will go through it. So your role is to prepare data for tracking workouts. You will receive a message that includes some details about the user's workout. You will transform it into JSON schema because that's what it's called. And I want to do something when I talk to make it even more convenient. I don't want when I talk to my Telegram, to my assistant, I don't want to say the date. Let's say I had a workout 2 days ago, and I would have to think, hey, what was the actual date 2 days ago? Okay, it was 27th. I'm not sure. I just want to say, hey, 2 days ago I did such and such workout, because that's much more convenient. I don't want to think about that at all. And this is why I use so-called variables with date, where when I say, I want you to know that today's date is, and then I provide it. And on the right-hand side, you can see it's March 1st. And use this information for relative dates such as 2 days ago, yesterday, or just like because I sometimes say I just did some so and so. And if I don't provide any date, I wanted to assume it was today. Because again, I'm using a variable called today. So when I use it tomorrow, the date will be tomorrow, okay? Here on the right-hand side. Okay, that's, I think that's it. So if I run it again, if I test step again, I did 30 push-ups. What I should see is that I should actually see today's date. Okay, that should be the only difference for now. Awesome. Can you see? That's a difference because now it has information about today's date. Okay, we've got the part, we've got the Telegram part and the output structure part. So let's connect with Notion. Okay, because that's crucial. I'll go because on the output right now we want Notion again. So I clicked on that plus and I type Notion. And from Notion, what I want to do is I want to create a database page, because when I add a new workout, this is my database, and when I click here, I create a new page. So that's exactly what I want to do. Okay. So I from this list I select create a new database page. Okay. And as you can see, we've got this output. And we should connect it with a Notion database. But to do that, we need to actually go through several steps on both Notion and n8n. So first step is that we need to create an integration in Notion. And we do it by going to this link, and that's notion.so profile integrations. So if you go here, you should see like an integrations and an empty list actually, unless you've used it. And so only this new integration button. That's what I'm going to do. And what I want to say here, like n8n tutorial, I want to give it a name. I will use mine, Notion workspace, and I want to use it internally. And that's it. I want to save it. And then integration successfully created. When I go there, I will have this internal integration secret. So if I go back to n8n, and if I want to create credentials, because it immediately connects me with my old ones, but you will go to create new credentials, and you can see internal integration secret. That's exactly what we created here. In order to copy it, you just need to show and copy. So I've copied, I paste it. And when I save, n8n will go through the testing. Okay, connection tested successfully. Awesome. That means and that my integration with n8n actually works. But right now, I need to do one more step in Notion. So I go to the workouts, and I actually need to add it to integrations, because otherwise, like, my entire workspace, like so many pages, so many projects that I have, would be immediately integrated through that integration that I just created. So I actually need to add connections. So on the right top hand is 3 dots, and then connections. And when I type n8n, I find this n8n tutorial that I just created, and I just need to confirm. I'm just editing the video, and I realized that Loom cut off like 2 minutes of my video, so there's a weird break. So I just want to tell you what I did in the meantime before I continue to the original video. So I basically sent the message for testing. On Notion, I pressed confirmed, and then I said yesterday I did 60 push-ups. Note it was 2 times 30. That was the message I sent. And what I did here in Notion in this blog, I basically selected this database from list workout tracker, because that's how I call the database in Notion. And I basically pressed back in n8n, I said test workflow, and I sent this message. I think that's it. It's a weird behavior of Loom. I hope you're still enjoying the video. If you're still here, thank you so much. And yeah, let's continue. What actually happened, you can see I did the push-ups. Note it was 2 times 30. And again, yesterday. And that's yesterday's date, because I said yesterday in this input, right? So that's amazing, because it's given me the output that I wanted. Let's see if I added, and I actually added a new page, but it doesn't really do anything meaningful. This is because we have to go through that Notion block and actually take that JSON schema and adjust it to the properties that we have here. So to the columns from our database. Okay, so we will do it step by step. So we've got those properties, and what's cool, when I press on add property, I just select this drop down, and it will give me the properties that I should use. So let's start with push-ups maybe, and connect them with, okay, I don't want to go from JSON, or maybe can I go from JSON? Yeah, I can go from JSON. So I've just selected push-ups and drag them over, and now JSON output push-ups, amazing. And I can see it was 60, right? I'll add another property. So that's something I need to do manually. We all have to do manually, but let's just do it. And then another property, let's do squats. And expression, I always change to expression. I didn't explain it. I always change to expression when I want to use something from here, because that will always be different depending on the input that I provide. So we actually want to connect those variables with these columns, and we do it through expressions. Because if we put fixed, we will always pass the same value. Where I was squats, okay, and add property date, and it's giving me different versions. I don't want to include time. I don't care about time, and I don't want any fixed date. I want today's date, like always today. So I not today's. I want the date of the workout, and because I said yesterday, it's giving me yesterday's date. And what was the last one? Notes. Okay. Notes. We just go here and we've got no nodes. And now when I test it, instead of those null, 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 I should have real values. Okay, so I'll test again. Okay, you can see like the difference right now. It's a very long object, but it's also giving me the actual values that I provided. Okay, I forgot about the name property, sorry. So let's put the name here, and I just say workout and just the day. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time here either. So when I test that step again, you can see workout and the date. That's a little bit silly solution, but I don't even want that name, to be honest, and I don't know how to get rid of that. Just ignore it, okay? It's really not important for this video. Okay, so it's working. I should celebrate right now. It's working. I will celebrate in a second. I'll tell you why. Because I don't like any workout like this data without cool icons. Because what I actually want here, I want an icon, and my favorite icon is a dumbbell. I'll use a blue one because it looks so nice. Can you see? So now I see the workout, and I've got a dumbbell icon, which is really very cool connected. But when I create a new workout, it won't create the icon unless I do the following. And that will be a little trick. You go to inspect, and then you will see something like that on the right hand side. Then you press this arrow and click on exactly on that icon, and you can see that it's an image and it's giving you the URL. So I press here, and it's giving me the SVG file. I copy that URL. I go back here, I scroll all the way down to the options, and I say icon, and I will paste that URL. But I also want to add icon type and say file, because it's the file. And now, when I test it again, I should create another workout with the same values, but also with that. Maybe I'll just delete that so that you can see better. So again, I will test the step. It will create the workout with these values, but I should also see the icon. Let's test. And workouts, amazing. The icons are the most fascinating part of this workflow. Just kidding. Okay, we've got everything except of the voice inputs. Okay, so let's go back to our workflow and let's actually test it with voice. So I save it and I say, I'll use my phone, okay? I did 12 pull-ups and 25 squats. Okay, I will test now. And we stopped here. And we stopped because this time we don't process the text input, but the voice input, and we're not prepared for that yet. As you can see, this doesn't exist, like I told you before. This doesn't exist. This time, what we've got, instead of this message.text, we've got voice, and this is some data from voice. So what I want to do is to add a routing rule, add the file ID, and also select that the file ID exists. Okay, and that will be my another route called voice. Because if I have this file, it means I deal with the voice input. And now when I run the test, you can see that it went this way. And in order to pass it to our large language model, we actually need to transform it into text. So first, what we'll do, we will go to Telegram and select get a file, because first we need to get that file. And when I test the step, and there's an error because I actually need to pass that file ID as an expression. And when I test it now, you can see I can even download it right now. And what we want to do with that file, we want to use AI to transcribe our recording. And so I press on plus, I go to OpenAI, because that's where this model for transcription will be available. And I select this transcribe a recording. And again, you will need OpenAI API credentials, but you should already have them because we used an LLM before. And when I test the step, you can see I did 12 pull-ups and 25 squats. That's the message I sent. And I also want to connect it with our basic LLM chain. Okay, so right now, this is our main, and this is our brain, right? This basic LLM chain. And we get there either through voice or through text. But right now, if I don't know how to run it, to be honest. Maybe I need to do that again. And do that. No, I don't know. So let me just test again. Okay, let's try the same inputs, but I say 2 days ago, maybe to make it more complex. 2 days ago, I did 12 pull-ups and 25 squats. And again, I need to test workflow, and it's going this route. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see what just happened. You know what? That's really interesting. It hasn't happened to me before, but let's try to fix it through like improving the instruction, in which I just say if a value for a specific exercise is not provided, just default to 0. Okay, so because I didn't mention the push-ups at all, and it's completely ignored it in the output. Okay, and that's exactly what has led to this error, because as you can see, it's expecting this JSON output push-ups, but it's not here. Okay, so I'll try that. Okay, it doesn't work again. Okay, I don't know. So let's stop and let's test the workflow again. 2 days ago, I did 12 pull-ups and 25 squats. And again, test. Let's see. Hopefully this will work. Okay, no error. That's already a great sign. And workouts performed as described. You see, I've got the push-ups now. So that's already what's fixed our problem. And there's some notes. And the workouts, as you can see, the same 2 days ago. So that's this one. No push-ups, 12 pull-ups, 25 squats. And some notes and the date. It's working. I hope that you see how it's changing, tracking anything, because that is so convenient. I mean, I can do that here also. I can type something and I can use some templates too. But honestly, I don't like doing it. And when I can just take my phone and say, hey, I just did such and such workout, just provide the numbers, This is something I will use every day. I'm not kidding you. I will use that every day. It's not going to save me hours. It's not going to save me even probably minutes. But in some cases, it will. But it's giving me this peace, because I hate when I do some workout and I cannot immediately track it. And then I need to keep that in mind, because I just want to do the workout, I want to track it, and I want to forget it. And when I can't forget, that's really annoying to me. So if you've got some more ideas for what you would like to track, I just did a client work for tracking money spending, and it looks very similar, but we didn't use Notion, only Google Sheets. So it was like, hey, yesterday I spent 50 euros in such and such restaurant, which is also a very, very cool thing when you just record something in your phone and then you see in the Google Sheets how it's like immediately showing the. But anyways, if you've got something that you would like to track, or you're already tracking, but it's taking you time, let me know in the comments. If you've got some more questions, also let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for some more different automations and you want to work with me, let me know. There's a link to a discovery call with me. I invite you to do that. I will be really happy to help you. And that's it for today's video. I will see you in the next video. See you.